Sometimes we sit and discuss or complain about the problems that we as the country and citizens found ourselves in. And we complain about corruption, the leaders that are corrupt, the tenders that are ruining the country, and all sorts of ills. But the fault is with us as the people. Remember that before 1994, we were fighting for democracy, we were fighting for freedom. We were not fighting for an individual. We were fighting for an ideal. But after 1994, we suddenly changed. Instead now of trying to live and still preach the ideals of freedom and democracy and all that comes with it, we have turned around and become cheerleaders of certain individuals. We forgot the ideals. Now we are focusing on one individual. All of a sudden, no, so-and-so must lead us. So-and-so, it's your time. So-and-so, we will die for you. That is not what we fought for. What happened to the ideals that we fought for? We need to go back and stop cheering for people. Because the problem, we will cheer for that person even when they are doing something wrong. Because now we've been cheering for that person, we will feel embarrassed to just turn around now and preach against that person. Instead, we still hang on that loyalty to that person. Whether the person is corrupt, we must still support that person. Because we feel embarrassed now to say we can no longer support you. But if we fight for the ideal or we fight for a principle, we will always be in a position to say to that leader, if you no longer live by this principle, if you no longer uphold these ideals, then please excuse us. We will find someone else that will be a face of our struggle for our freedom. Let us stop this nonsense of being disciples. No, we must not be disciples. We cannot follow an individual in this country. We must follow an ideal. We must follow a principle. Yes, we need someone that will lead us to that ideal. But if that someone no longer believes in that ideal, then they must move aside and get someone that will still believe and fight for that ideal. Now we are cheerleaders, but when things go wrong, we complain. You know, the problem with being a cheerleader is that you are forced to be loyal. You must see in sports, your team might be getting a 100-0 walloping, but your cheerleaders will still jump up and down trying to motivate you to believe that you can still do something right. That is their job, to cheer for you in good and in bad. But we must not be those cheerleaders. We must be cheerleaders of an ideal, so that when that ideal doesn't come true, we can still keep cheering for it until it comes through. But the problem with individuals, they always change depending on the circumstances. Someone is doing something wrong. This one goes to jail for rape. No, he's innocent. Just because we like that person, just because we've always been a follower. So-and-so is assaulted, there's an assault case. No, it can't be. We don't even look at the merits of what is being reported, of what they have done. All we care about is that we will die where that person dies. If that person is corrupt, they must lead us to corruption. We cannot live like that. We need to start believing in ideals and principles. And if I'm not good enough to lead towards that principle, I must be told by my colleagues that no, you are no longer fit enough to lead us. Let us not try and be democratic and come up with all sorts of nice stories to make people feel bad. No, let us tell them that you are no longer good for our cause. Step aside. We're going to get someone else to do it for us. That is what an honest nation should be doing. But instead, we follow an individual. That individual today says, let us all wear red because red is the best color in town. We all wear red. When he wakes up tomorrow wearing a black shirt, We must believe that now all of a sudden a black shirt is the best color in town. What happened to our principles? We destroyed them because we want this instant success, this instant gratification that comes with close proximity to resources of the country. And then that proximity, what does it encourage? Corruption. Now the state capture, there's all sorts of things going on. Recently there's been looting. But guess what? Those that have been found to be wrong in the state capture, citizens are going to support them. They will say, no, so-and-so is wrong. So-and-so, no, it's a political smear campaign. All those nice terms. Instead of standing up and say, hey, daughter, you're accused of this and this is serious. Can you take a break until we can find out whether this is right or wrong? We're not saying you have done it, but we are saying give us space to conduct our own investigation. If you are found innocent, yippee, good days, come and join us. But should you be found on the wrong side, then you are gone. But no, instead, we become so blindly loyal to people. We are not even strong enough to tell them when they have done something wrong. And it must start with us, with your friends. When a friend is doing something wrong, tell them that what you are doing is not on. It starts there. It starts with us, in our families. Then we're going to stop this nonsense of cheering for people, whether they are doing wrong or right. If today he says, let's go and jump in the cliff, we're all going to go and jump in the cliff. Because we're loyal to this person, not to his ideal. Nelson Mandela said when he went to jail, if this is an ideal for which I must die for, then I'm prepared to die. He did not say, I'm going to die for so-and-so. He said he's prepared to die for an ideal. Why are we now prepared to die for a person who's going to wake up tomorrow and come with something new? And every time there's something new, we must also change. We are becoming a chameleon nation. We change with colors. I sit on a red chair, I become red. I sit on a black chair, I become black. We cannot live like that. We need to take responsibility. If Mandla is doing something wrong, tell them that Mandla, we like you, but what you are doing is not on. So please stop it. And if you can't stop it, then you don't belong with us. Then you will see we'll be a better country. But until then, we're going to keep complaining and moaning and staying as cheerleaders.